Okay guys, welcome to the next part of our tutorial. In this one, we are going to do the character selection screen, and we're also going to do the home screen, but that's just sort of a path to make sure that we've got our three main forms for our app. So it's a bit of tidying up some stuff that we need to, and a bit of, basic stuff for the character selection. Right now, we've got our battle screen. Next, we need to work out how our player is going to choose their Pokemon, and we really need a splash screen for them to open on as well. So let's go right ahead and go Project, Add Windows Form, and then we are going to, you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to start with the sort of splash screen. I'm just going to call it the Start Form. Go Add, and it'll create a little one for you here. This one will literally probably just have two buttons for you. Let's add one here. I'm not going to focus on the design for this one at all. Okay, this one is going to be button start. Start, and then I'm going to have another one. And of course, button exit. Okay, let's double click on the start button. Actually, no, let's not yet. Let's add another form. Project, add Windows form, and this one is going to be fighter select, or just select form. I mean, it can really be called anything you want. I'm going to call it select form, just be consistent. Okay, so let's double click on our start button on our start form, and this one here is going to have the tiny bit of code we need to send it over to our character select form, and that is literally just we're going to type in select form, and I'm just going to call it select equals new select form. Okay, so that is going to create a new instance of our second form. Let's go right ahead and say this.hide to hide the current form we're on, and select.show. Okay, there we go. There's one more thing we want to do in our start form, and that is the exit one, and that is just going to be this.close. So if we ever hit that, then our app is just going to close right on the spot. Before we test this out, we need to go into program.cs. This is what actually runs when our game will start. It's literally just doing three things. Those first two, never really gone into, but this one is the main one. So it currently says when application runs new form 1. That's not what we want. We want to create a new start form. So when the application starts, we want it to create a start form. Okay, brilliant. So let's go over to our select form now. This one I'm going to do a bit of design work on, but I'm going to rush through it. So what I'd like you guys to do is really just have some creative control over this, but I'm going to quickly round these up to some nice numbers so that I've got something easier to work with. So I'm going to make it, that's close to 800 by 500, so let's do that. Okay, now because I've gone with the basic 3 starter Pokemon, I'm going to need 3 picture boxes, and I'm going to make them all 200 by 200. Okay, so I'm going to need 3 evenly spread across the frame. Because 800 is a really easy number for some maths, I want to find the center of that. 800 divided by 2 is 400, but because the point that is measured on for my controls is always the top left-hand corner, I need to know what position that has to be in. So if the middle's 400 and this is 200 wide, then I need to be at the location of 300. I'm also going to put it just 100 down. I think that's a good spot. let's hit, actually, let's not hit it yet. There's a couple things I'm going to set up. So I'm not going to change that yet. I'm just going to make something easier for myself. I'm going to change the border style to fixed single, because I want that on all of these. You'll see why later. Okay, let's copy and paste this. I'm going to put it there for the moment. It's a bit of a guess, but I'm going to set the picture box to be in 50-100, because I've already worked out that that's where it needs to be, because I've already done the maths once. And let's copy and paste it one more time, and it is going to be at 550-100. Okay, lovely. So let's go right ahead and set these up to be the right pictures. I've not added my Bulbasaur yet, so I'm going to do that very quickly. I knew there was something else I wanted to change. So if you remember, set stretch image on the first one so that you don't have to click it 3 times. Okay, lovely. One more thing I wish I had remembered will be the color is going to be white. The background color, rather. It's just going to pop a bit better on the background, and there's a reason for this as well. So, I'm going to quickly fix up some extra stuff in here. Just bear with me. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I already have done this once in a different project. I just literally copied and pasted those over. So let's double click on our Bulbasaur and we will get some programming started. So we are going to create an integer called CharSelected, and we're going to set it to be 0 to begin with. What I intend to do is I intend on saying when they select Bulbasaur, that's character 1, character 2 is Squirtle, and character 3 is Charmander. Character select equals 0, that means none has been selected yet. So for Bulbasaur, I'm going to say CharSelected equals 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now I need to do something with that. When that happens, I'm going to put after each of those, I'm going to put a link in to a void that I'm about to write called CharChanged. So when our character is changed, we want to change various things in this design. So what I have in mind is I'm going to change the background color of this. So what I went with last time was a light cyan. It looks pretty nice. It looks like your standard, blues for selected. And there's one more thing I'm going to do. I'm going to change the border style to be fixed 3D. So now it looks like we've clicked on it as well. So I think that's a pretty good look. Okay, so I'm just going to change those back because I don't want them to look like that when we first open up the form. And then let's do that in the code. So I'm going to say if CharSelected equals 1, so if it's Bulbasaur, I want the picture box of Bulbasaur, I want the background color to now be equal to color.lightCyan. Okay, and whenever we change these, we need to make sure that the other ones get set back to its original color. So I'm also going to need to put in pb Squirtle dot back color equals color dot white, and same for Charmander. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to change there was, of course, the border style. So let's do the same with that. pb Bulbasaur dot border style equals, and then we're going to type in border style dot fixed 3D. And again, we need to make sure the others are not set to Now it's literally just a bit of copying and pasting and changing. So I'm going to speed this up very quickly for you. You know what? No, in fact, I'm just going to go and copy and paste the code from the other one. Okay, get a good look at that if you need it. And I'm going to move that for the sake of consistency. Okay. So I did do that in a different order last time, but it will all work the same. And I have missed a... There we go. Okay, we haven't actually called character change in any of these. So let's go right ahead. Let's give that a test. Start. Lovely. So that's a simple little design to make sure that the player knows which one they're selecting, and it's fairly obvious at any given moment. And it's really clear how to select it as well. Okay, so that's all very well and good. But now we need to make sure that that choice gets carried over to the actual battle form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here where it says form 1, because that's our battle form and it's not really clear at the moment. So I'm going to right click on it and click rename, and I'm just going to call it battle. Yes, I would like to rename all code elements to it. And there we go, it is now referenced as battle everywhere. If I go to my designer, it now says battle everywhere except the text. So I'm going to fix that up. And now it'll say battle at the very top left as well. Okay, cool. The way we're going to send our data over to our new form is by adding an argument to whenever we start up our battle class. So if I just put in int choice here, and I go up to the top here and then say int character selected, like we did in the other one, I can just say that character selected in this form is going to equal choice from the other one. And then all I have to do is go over to my select form. You will notice that I've got my nice large start battle button here. And I'll say that battle equals new battle. And then when you do this here, it's going to tell you need to put in a choice. I know that that's going to be our character selected. So just type in character selected there, and that'll send the number right over. Then we go this.hide battle.show, and Bob's your uncle. That'll be sent over. All we need to do now is over here, when form 1 loads, we need to tell it what our player and enemy are going to be and what the picture boxes are going to be as well. So I'm just going to go over here and refresh my memory. Yes, I did call it PB player and PB enemy. Perfect. So I'm going to say if car selected equals 1, then my player will be Bulbasaur. My enemy is going to be, and because I'm making this, tight match up so that the player's at an advantage, I'm going to make this one Squirtle. And then the PB for my player, well, accuracy. PB for my player is going to and then we're going to do that for our other ones as well. And again, I'm going to cheat and just copy and paste it from my old one. That's all ready to go now. If I hit start, select Bulbasaur, who I never had in this game before, start my battle, Bulbasaur's there, Squirtle's there. There is one thing you'll notice, and that is that I haven't changed the name here. That is for you to do. You can also set things up like here as well. I think we're going to do that next time. So I'm going to leave those two little nuances for the moment. There's one thing I do want to set up though, really quickly before we forget about it. So we need to be really careful that we're not accidentally going to send this something we can't handle. Let's see what happens if I hit start battle and I don't give it the correct number. It is going to make the default Squirtle and Charmander, which is fine, I guess, but it's not really what I want to do. I'm going to go over to my select form code, and I'm going to say, because we know when no character is selected, it equals 0. I'm going to say if char selected equals 0, which means the user has gone right ahead and clicked that button without clicking on a Pokemon. I'm going to tell it to create a message box. I'm going to say messagebox.show, and then I'm going to put else here. So if character selected equals 0, then I'm going to tell them to please select their Pokemon before starting a battle. If it does not equal 0, then we're going to go right ahead and open it for them. Let's have another go. Start. Okay. Good. Charmander. No, Squirtle. No, Charmander. Lovely. There's one more thing I think we'll do later on, and that is I'm just going to flip the image of these every time they're not facing the right direction, because there's no point Charmander not facing his enemy. And you'll notice if we pick if we pick Bulbasaur, then both he and Squirtle are facing the wrong way, which makes no sense. So we can do that later too, but I'm going to leave that there. Have an awesome day, guys. That should be enough to keep you going for the moment. Thanks.